Well, if the Denver Broncos are able to hold on to this lead, they'll finish with a record of 9-7. Right now, 9-7 is the score here at halftime in Denver. Kurt Menefee along with Tim Ryan. And Tim, you take a look at this game and the way things worked out with Brian Griese not starting and Steve Berline, it was an opportunity for Berline maybe to win the job for next year.
Yeah.
But so far, yeah.
Yeah, and Steve Berline earned the job today to get the start and had to go out and make some good throws and really hasn't done that. He's had some missed opportunities. Here's one to Ed McCaffrey, who's wide open for a touchdown, overthrows him. The accuracy just hasn't been there, as you see Ashley Lee here down on the goal line, and he's only thrown for 70 yards in the football game today, but he hasn't had to be good, Kurt, and that's why, you know, Clinton Portis has picked up where Berline has left off, and Portis has played very, very well in this first half. He's got 120 yards rushing. He's been all over the place, and he's been their MVP, and still a guy, I think, that is still has a great opportunity to be Rookie of the Year.
Well, it's much easier when you get a guy who's carrying the ball like Portis has today.
Here's a big run he had up the middle, and that almost went for a score. He'll break a tackle here, Kurt, and get a nice positive gain. Just had a big, big first half. I mean, you can see his vision, you can see his big playability, and then here's the big one, 59-yard run for Clinton Portis, who really has been the best player in the first half here for the Denver Broncos.
And Portis putting up big numbers, 8 carries, 120 yards, and let me see, 8 divided by, that's a 15-yard average.
That's pretty good. Yeah. That's pretty good.
Well, the Arizona Cardinals scored just before halftime, and they'll get a chance to take advantage and maybe take the lead as they receive here to start the second half. Kevin Casper, who caught the touchdown pass, takes it in his end zone and decides to just take a knee. Well, it all happened right before halftime, and it looked like Arizona wouldn't have a chance to score as Deltha O'Neal intercepted Jake Plummer, we thought, with 6 seconds left. But they reviewed it, said he did not have control, so Arizona got one more shot, and Plummer completed the touchdown pass to Kevin Casper. That pulled it to within 9-7, and that's where we stand right now at the beginning of the third quarter.
And I thought a good call. I mean, one that you can live with. Deltha O'Neal, to me clearly, Kurt, did not have full possession of that football once he hit the ground.
Starting from the 20-yard line. Plummer completes it out to Jason McCadley. Gain of 6 on the play, and Plummer was pretty good in that first half, 10 of 18 for 91 yards and the touchdown. And he starts off well here. Speaking of well, let's check out David Treadwell down on the sidelines.
All right, guys, I had a chance to talk to both coaches during the halftime, and Mike Shanahan, both coaches preaching a similar message. Talked to Mike Shanahan right before kickoff. He found out that Cleveland had beat Atlanta and the Broncos were eliminated in the playoffs. He said, we're going to go out and play with a lot of pride and a lot of character. So far, we've seen that. Same thing from the Cardinals. Dave McGinnis said there's no quit in this team. And we saw it. They get the big boost, scoring the touchdown right before the half. Back to you.
All right, thanks a lot, David. Marcel Shipp with the carry back to the line of scrimmage. And we've seen what we've seen all season from this Dave McGinnis coached Arizona team.
Yeah, and I don't think you can evaluate Dave McGinnis on his record at 5-10 this year. They have had way too many injuries on the offensive line, at the wide receiving core, back in the secondary. I think if you're going to evaluate a coach that's had all the injuries that they've had, you need to evaluate him on the effort and by his football team. And I think he has certainly succeeded in that endeavor this year, because the effort for the Cardinals really has been good all year.
On third down, they need the 30-yard line for the first. On a rollout. Pass broken up, intended for Jason McCadley, but O'Neal was there to stop it. So it'll be a 3-and-out for Arizona to start the second half.
Good job driving out of his break. Up on the football is Deltha O'Neal. In perfect position, Kurt, to come out and take away that out. Guy's a big play type guy. He'll
really
be back
is.
there returning a punt right now. And he had 5 interception returns for touchdowns in college at Cal Berkeley, and that was an NC2A record. He's a guy that's capable of huge plays.
Oh, he's back to take the punt from Scott Player here. That is 27. Nice return of 14 yards by O'Neal. And the Broncos begin their first possession of the second half, still leading 9-7. Well, Clinton Portis, number 26, was the story in the first half. 120 yards rushing, another 18 receiving. And you see, in that first half, he had almost as many as the entire Arizona Cardinal offense.
Look at that.
Good starting field position for the Broncos at the 42. Play fake. Burline, the pump fake. All kinds of time once again, and just throws it out of bounds since he couldn't find a receiver. But once again, that offensive line coming through.
Well, they did a good job in protection, but it looked like they had a screen set up. Wanted to get to Mike Anderson. You'll see Mike Anderson, the fullback, here in the screen, and he'll leak out over here. But Greg Jones is going to stay with him the whole time. So you saw Burline wanted to go to it there. Wasn't there because Greg Jones was there. Now he just has to throw it away. Watch him punt. He wants it right here to Mike Anderson. Not there because Greg Jones is converting up. Good play by Burline. Good decision just to get rid of it.
The pitch to Portis. Flags come flying, and Clinton Portis picked up 12 yards. Ronaldo Hill with the tackle, but we'll see what our first penalty of the second half is for.
Looks like it's going to be a holding on someone on the right side of that offensive line.
Offense, number 78, 10-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
Try the right tackle, Matt Lepsis.
Here's Matt right here coming from a two-point stance. Oh, yeah, I see him wrapped up there on Ronaldo Hill.
It's a holiday hug.
Yeah,
that's all it is.
A little friendly hug.
Yeah. So after the penalty, second and long.
White 90. White 90, son.
Burline.
Look at the time.
Once again, this time completing it out to Rod Smith. All the way out to the 45-yard line. Ronaldo Hill with the tackle there, but credit Smith with a 13-yard reception. And we see the time once again by this offensive line being provided.
Yeah, all day to throw. They keep Mike Anderson in to help block there on Vanden Bosch. But Burline's able to wait for it to develop. Rod Smith just sitting down in front of Ronaldo Hill there, and it's only Rod Smith's second catch, Kurt, of the afternoon today. Remember, he's the go-to guy here in Denver. Doing a good job limiting his success as Arizona.
On third down, they have to get it to the 48 of Arizona. Right there is McCaffrey for the first down. Actually gets it out to the 46-yard line before Dwayne Starks stops him. But a Denver Bronco first, nonetheless.
And we talked about, again, the lack of pass rush by all these guys up front, and they don't get any again here. Decide to come with four guys, run a stunt. Wakefield doesn't get there until it's way too late. Timing route here on McCaffrey. Starks slips. If a DB slips, Kurt, in a timing route, forget it. You're dead. Easy completion to Ed McCaffrey.
And McCaffrey's second catch of the day. Clinton Portis outside. Forced out by Kwame Lassiter, but another big play by Portis, this time for 22 yards.
Beautiful block by Ephraim Salam out on the edge. Watch Ephraim here. Watch him drop back and then get a kick down block on Vanden Bosch. Create the edge for Portis. Mike Anderson able to chop his guy. Now Portis off to the races. He is having a huge day today, is Clinton Portis. That's not a good sight. I mean, you see there is nobody around him. A lot of real estate there for Clinton Portis.
And Ephraim Salam coming over this year and really having an impact, switching from right tackle in Atlanta to left tackle with the Broncos. Mike Anderson with the carry. Short pickup, but Salam was one of those guys in Atlanta, played right tackle, and apparently, you listen to him, was playing out of place.
Yeah, he was, and played left tackle in college at San Diego State, and that's where he feels more comfortable. But out in Atlanta, it's Bob Whitfield. Bob Whitfield is the left tackle. That's etched in stone. So Frame stood over on the right side, played well, came over here as a free agent, put him in there at left tackle, and then they were thinking about moving him to right to his position, and he said, hey, coach, to Shanahan, he said, I actually feel better out here at left tackle. I feel more comfortable. They gave him an opportunity. He's been the starter all year.
And has performed well. Movement early. Another hard count by Steve Burline.
Full start, offense on number 11. 5-yard penalty. Still second
and they
down.
actually called Burline for the false start. Let's see if he moved his head.
Yeah, that's what
check
it's going
out
to
the
be. It's going to
replay.
be on the head, Bob. Let's listen and watch.
Oh, wow.
Now, that's a great hard count, but I don't think that's a good call by the referee. I don't think that's a good call by the official.
It's kind of hard to bark out the signal without moving some
Yeah,
part
you got
of
to
your
move
head.
something when you're barking that loud.
So the penalty will drop.
You got to bring that
The Denver
bark from down
Broncos
deep,
back.
right?
I'm surprised he didn't move more than just his head. Three-man rush, bad snap. Berline still gets rid of it. And the pass is caught by Rod Smith.
And takes a vicious shot, does Berline. Looked like Raynoch Thompson. And just a bad snap from Ben Hamilton. See Berline in shotgun. High and right. Now Steve just got to pick it up, but watch the hit he's going to take from Raynoch Thompson. Still able to get a completion over there to Rod Smith.
So it'll be 3rd and long. 4 wide receivers in. Denver needs the 14-yard line for the first. Berline completes it to McCaffrey. Makes a move. Going to be close to that first down. Maybe half a yard shy as Justin Lucas made the tackle. And the crowd here encouraging the Broncos to go for it. Well, why not? Your season doesn't hinge on this. It's 4th down. You're not going to the playoffs either way. You can see the people, they're encouraging. That's what that shot was.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, that was encouragement.
And the way Portis has run the football, Kurt, I mean, why not? He's already got 142 yards on the ground. Just got into the second half. Let's see what they decide to go with here.
Portis gets the first down. Up to Los Angeles and JB for another game break.
Hey, Kurt, the Jets know if they win, the AFC East title is theirs. Opening drive of the 3rd quarter, 60-yard drive capped by that 5-yard run by Curtis Martin. The Jets now in front by 11, 21-10. Back to Kurt Menefee and Orange Bowl-bound Tim Ryan of USC.
Ah, there you go. I was waiting to sing New York, New York. Yesterday the Giants, today the Jets.
It's been some magic in the Meadowlands, that's for sure.
First down for the Broncos. Portis dancing for a gain of 1 yard. Fred Wakefield on the tackle. Well, the Broncos have come out in their first possession of the second half. It's been a nice long drive. We're coming up on the 10th play of the drive and approaching the 6-minute mark as well.
Kurt, with all the success, Clinton Portis today, and he has been all over the place. Again, almost at 150 yards rushing as you see the numbers there. Look at that, 13-3 a carry. But how about that offensive line in front of him, just continuing to open holes?
Portis goes out wide to the right. Berline, McCaffrey, 6-yard line, 4 yards on the play. Kobe Reinhardt with the tackle, and McCaffrey, who was playing with a bruised sternum from last week, is slow to get up.
And he's a tough guy, but again, the timing of the quarterback provided by that offensive line up front is the story for Steve Berline here today. And look at the European front. All of these guys off of the NFL Europe list, and they're all, look at them. I mean, you got 3 starters in Herndon, Hamilton, and Lepsis here today.
And Friedman was the starter before breaking his thumb.
That's right, and is the top backup. So that European League has been terrific for a lot of teams in the NFL, and especially for the Denver Broncos.
And a couple of broadcasters named Menefee and Ryan as well.
Yeah, how about that?
Into the end zone, touchdown, Denver Broncos. Ashley Lalee with the catch.
Good protection again for Berline just about every time on this drive. He just stands back, waits for Lalee to break open on a slant, and then just fires a beautiful throw. Look at Stone is not going to be able to get over there quick enough on the slant play. Reinhardt was beat. Lalee comes up with a touchdown.
The second touchdown of the season for their first round pick out of Hawaii gives the Broncos a bigger lead. Right now, it's 16-7. Well, at halftime, I said Steve Berline was kind of, in the first half. On that drive, he was,
Yeah, just a little bit better. 6 of 7, 44 yards for Berline on the scoring drive, and fires the bullet to Lally for the touchdown. But, yeah, we talked about it at halftime. Said he was not necessarily accurate at all in that first half. Missed a couple of touchdown throws, and he's come back out here in the second half and put some nice touch on the football and has shown some nice accuracy.
Extending the lead to 9 points, 16-7. Is the count. Broncos on top as Mike Anor kicks it off to Kevin Casper from the end zone. Follows the wall. Casper with an excellent return before being stopped by Bertrand Berry after the return of 37 yards.
Here's the touchdown from Ashley Lally, who's out here, and he's going to run a slant route. Watch Raynoch Thompson, the middle backer. He'll drift this way, but an absolute bullet from Steve Berline, and Raynoch Thompson can't get there quick enough. I mean, that ball had so much heat on it, Kurt. If it did not have that heat on it, I guarantee you Raynoch Thompson would have got a hand on it.
Plummer with a chance to answer, starting at the 37. Being chased out and brought down for the sack. Monsanto Pope, first sack of the day by the Broncos D.
First sack of the day, but had 2 sacks last week in that football game, and the rookie's getting some play. But look at Berline after the touchdown, Kurt. All right, I got myself a touchdown. I'm feeling pretty good. Okay, well, oh, look at Wakefield come over and give him a little shot.
Where is the love?
Where is the love? Especially for a 37-year-old guy. You got to have a little sympathy for that guy.
Maybe Wakefield just feeling good because he signed a new contract on yesterday.
I guess you got to touch the quarterback, Kurt, any way you can.
Any way you can. After the 7-yard loss on the sack, Marcel Shipp picking up 1 yard. Al Wilson in on the tackle.
Al Wilson has had a big football game today. Marcel Shipp has done a decent job early running the football. He was running for about 4.5 a carry in the first quarter, and then Al Wilson decided he was going to start wrecking havoc in that backfield and started shutting down Marcel Shipp.
Al Wilson going to the Pro Bowl his second straight and has been a big contributor all day long for this Bronco defense as they have held Arizona to just 7 points so far. And now they have them on a 3rd and long situation.
Shown blitz.
Cardinals need the 47. Kevin Casper with the catch. Into Bronco territory. Took a shot from Kanoy Kennedy right in the back. But what a big play once again by Kevin Casper, 22 yards on the reception.
Well, Denver is going to drop 8 guys back here in zone coverage, and watch Casper just run past Deltha O'Neal, find a little soft spot there in the zone, and then Jake Plummer just fires a beautiful pass. But again, the lack of pressure, Kurt, only rushing 3 guys, dropping 8. Jake had time to wait for that to develop and threw a nice throw.
From the Denver 46, Shipp. Marcel Shipp has had a tough day running the football. Picked up 5 yards on that carry before Lionel Dalton made him pay.
Got a little more on the spin move because Al Wilson was there again, sitting in the hole waiting for him. Was ready to hit Shipp. Watch Al Wilson come running down the line of scrimmage here, and then he's going to meet Shipp right over here. And then Shipp spins and picks up some extra yards.
Three receivers in on 2nd down. Little screen pass thrown in the dirt. Shipp the nearest receiver. Well, one thing we have seen from Plummer, not only today, but the last couple of weeks, and we showed the graphic earlier how he's played better the last 3 games. The penchant for making mistakes that was the knock against him hasn't been there. Some wise decisions just to get rid of the ball at times.
I don't think he's pressing as hard. I mean, there's nothing to lose anymore. He doesn't put all the pressure on himself. And Jake Plummer's just going out there. And what did he say yesterday? Most important, Kurt, he's having fun.
Yeah.
He's still playing football. He still loves the game of football. And he's going to go out no matter what and have a good time today.
Needs to get him to the 36 to keep this drive going. Ball batted at the line of scrimmage, incomplete. We complete one out to Los Angeles and JB for another game break.
Kurt, I tell you, the Jets are fired up indeed with this one. A 28-yard pass to Curtis Martin set up this Chad Pennington to Santana Moss touchdown strike. It is now 28-10. The Jets looking more like the AFC East titleists, and Cleveland would be in as a wild card. Back to Kurt and 10.
Kurt, talk about Herman Edwards a little bit, because you're in New York. You live back there. I mean, what a year he has had. What a job he's done.
After a 2-5 start to that team, on the verge of winning the AFC East. Scott Blair on for the punt. That one's partially blocked. And it'll wind up getting a good roll for Arizona. Keith Burns got in there and got a hand on it, but not quite enough. And the ball will be spotted inside the 10-yard line when the Broncos take over.
Roughing the kicker, I'm sorry.
Here's a block by Keith Burns, who's going to be right here standing up. Watch him penetrate this gap. Greg Jones will let him go. Wilson will move over, and he runs free. You see Justin Wilson has come over here, and then he goes up and gets a partial block. And then when you get a partial block, of course, you're talking about it, you're telling him what happened. But tell you, Kurt, if he wanted a full block there, he shouldn't have left his feet. What you do as a punt blocker is you run through, basically taking the football off the guy's feet. That time he left his feet and was able to only get it partially blocked.
They'll begin with the first down. Clinton Portis picks up another first, a gain of 11 on the run.
Remember, we talked about the strength of Clinton Portis, and a guy that's a lot stronger than his size indicates. And here you'll see him break a tackle, Kurt, in the backfield by a defensive lineman and pick up a bunch of extra yards. That's what Clinton Portis can do. I mean, they had him stuffed there in the backfield, big defensive lineman, and just was unable to wrap him up. This guy really, from the waist down here, very strong.
Out to the 19-yard line. Portis again. Gain of 4. You know, Clinton Portis talked to us about the fact that he can't believe that he was a second-round pick.
No, he can't. And he's super confident.
Oh, no question. But not overly cocky or anything, just confident.
He says, listen, I can understand, you know, pick number 1, David Carr, pick number 2, Julius Peppers, number 3, Joey Harrington, but beyond that, he looked right at us. He says, you name somebody better than me. You can't.
Well, you look at the numbers he has put up here in his rookie season, and it's hard to argue that he should have been the 51st player taken in the NFL draft this year.
And he's definitely, Kurt, used that for big motivation this year.
Going to be out close to another first down. Greg Jones, the former Buff, with the tackle.
What did he need coming into today to break Mike Anderson's Denver Bronco rookie rushing record?
Well, he needed about 193 yards coming into today to tie the record. Right now he's got 168, so it's within reach.
Sure is.
Now, Mike Anderson's his fullback. If he gets close, do you think he misses a block?
No, Mike's good like that. He won't do that.
Help the young fella out.
Yeah. And hey, that's one guy, Mike Anderson, has transitioned very well to the fullback spot.
Play fake. McCaffrey. That's another Denver first down. Kobe Reinhardt forced him out of bounds, and McCaffrey coming through with his 5th catch of the day.
And he's had a couple of nice catches today. Has Ed McCaffrey here matched up with Kobe Reinhardt. Look at him just get that head turned around just like a good receiver should do, Kurt, and go out and get the football. But listen, a couple today, but the last couple of weeks have been tough for Ed McCaffrey. Hasn't had a lot of catches and really has had some key drops, especially when you think about that Raider game last week.
After the 16-yard play, first down at the 45. Burline. Going up top. Lally. Broken up, penalty marker on the play. Kwame Lassiter, the man in coverage for Arizona, going against the rookie. The penalty called against the Cardinals.
And the rookie is the playmaker
Illegal
out there.
Contact on the defense, number 21. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Ronaldo Hill called for the illegal contact.
Kurt, this is the playmaker out here for the Denver Broncos in the future. That's for sure. He can stretch the field. You see him with a little double move there, and he's already beat. I mean, you see the push. They're already well past the 5-yard rule. You already saw the flag come out. And thank goodness for Arizona, Lassiter is able to come over the top and knock that one away.
Yeah, it may have been, instead of 5 yards, 7 points. Had Lassiter not gotten to that one to knock it down. So after the penalty and the automatic first down, ball spotted right on the 50-yard line.
And those double moves, I mean, that's one thing that's always been in the repertoire of this Denver Bronco football team. They always do a great job selling the double move.
Anderson with the carry. Nice pickup by Anderson. Give him 17 yards, and no matter who's running the ball, the Broncos getting it done on the ground today.
And see what I mean about this offensive line? It doesn't matter who you put behind them, and they're all quality backs. These guys make good blocks. Ben Hamilton just pushes his guy through the hole. Dan Neal making a real nice block, and these running backs, I'll tell you, to a man, appreciate all those guys up front. Curtin, they're small guys.
Yeah,
these guys average about 285, 290, but as you hear me say all the time, low man wins in this league, and these guys always come off low.
You see 188 yards rushing before this carry by Portis. And he picks up 6 more. Ronald McKinnon finally stopped him. And Portis is having a big day. He's got 174 yards on the ground. This offensive line for the Broncos providing 194 yards rushing, and they still got a quarter to go. Broncos on top 16-7 after 3 quarters. Fox NFL Sunday will continue from Denver after this word from their local Fox station. We get ready to start the 4th quarter here in Denver. And those Bronco cheerleaders who delayed the game earlier, well, they're moving a little faster this time, getting off the field. Yeah, maybe the chaps slow them down.
Yeah, I think so. These things always were hard to wear, right? I know you've got a lot of. I know you got a lot of history with those.
You sound like you're speaking from experience. From the 28-yard line to start the 4th quarter, Burline completes it out. Ed McCaffrey. Another Bronco first down. Another check-in with JB out in Los Angeles.
Kurt and Tim, take a look. Brett Favre and the Packers driving and threatening inside the 25. Instead, the pass intended for Javon Walker, picked off by Sam Gorns. Gorns takes it back downfield. I tell you, it's 65-yard return. It looks more and more like the Jets will be the AFC East title holders. Cleveland cheering their action on. Back to Kurt and Tim.
New York, New York. There you go.
I'll tell you, everybody, if that does happen, everybody in the NFC may have just dodged a bullet not having to go through Green Bay.
Big 8-yard run by Clinton Portis. And if the Jets hold on, they will win the AFC East, making them the number 4 seed as the division winner. And Cleveland would clinch the final wild card spot to go along with Indianapolis as the 2 wild card teams in the AFC, and it would eliminate the New England Patriots.
And of course, Kurt, everything has to go right through here. The Bay Area out in California with the Oakland Raiders.
Oakland and San Francisco both in, both New York teams in. It's like baseball, that big market, small market thing, huh? Clinton Portis again, hitting the backfield, keeps on turning. Gets back to the line of scrimmage despite Baron Tanner getting a hand on him.
And he's getting close, is Clinton Portis, Kurt, to that new rookie record. He's got 180 yards. He's going to need 14 more yards to break the record of Mike Anderson set here a couple of years ago. And again, I mean, making a big statement and still, I think, in the running for Rookie of the Year.
Oh, he's trying to make his case here. 180 yards on the ground will certainly at least get you some attention in this last game.
Are you kidding me? Just 11 yards a carry.
On 3rd and short. If they get to the 7, they get a first down. Off the play fake. Burline to the end zone. Caught for the touchdown by Rod Smith. What an adjustment made to move right in front of Michael Stone and catch the score.
That's why Rod Smith is the go-to guy here for the Denver Broncos. And I tell you, just a terrific throw, play action. Look at him, just wait for it to develop, and then Burline under pressure from Greg Jones. Throws a sweet pass for the touchdown to Rod Smith. That's the great thing about Beuerlein. He's never looking at the rush. He's always looking downfield at his receivers.
Jason Elam with the extra point. Rod Smith's 5th touchdown of the season on a day in which he goes over 1,000 yards receiving for the season as well, extending the lead to 23-7.
America's top critics are united in their praise for Gangs of New York. Ebert and Roper give it 2 thumbs up. Premiere Magazine declares 4 stars. Rolling Stone Magazine raves. It's the best picture of the year. And now Gangs of New York has been nominated for 5 Golden Globe Awards, including Best Actor, Best Supporting Actress, Best Director, and Best Picture of the Year. Gangs of New York. Rated R. Now playing everywhere.
Mr. Stevens? Yeah. Got you down for over 130 channels, $39.99 a month.
Right.
So every channel's digital quality. There's access to 31 premium movie channels, 60 pay-per-view movie titles a month.
Great. So that can go on the back of the roof?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, good. So go ahead and pull around back.
You work for the cable company, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why settle for cable? Get a 2-room DirecTV system with installation for under $50.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by DirecTV. Movies, music, and exclusive sports from the leader in digital satellite entertainment. By Miramax Films' Gangs of New York, now playing in theaters everywhere, rated R. By Microsoft, providing software for the agile business. And by the new H2 Hummer, like nothing else.
Rod Smith's touchdown, part of a run that Steve Beuerlein has had where he's completed 9 of his last 10 passes after that cool first half.
Yeah, he had a very cool first half. Only threw for 70 yards, was like 6 of 13 or something. Not particularly accurate, missed some big throws. We talked about it at halftime, and Steve Beuerlein has come back out here and just lit it up.
Kevin Casper from the 6. Nice big hit by Sam Brandon to bring him down. Well, the Broncos are starting to feel it, leading right now by 16 points.
Tiki, Mom's gonna love these.
Hi.
Hey, you take a check?
I'm just gonna need some ID. Okay. How do I know this is you? Because it looks just like him.
But it's me.
Okay. But it looks like him. This says that you were born...
1975.
Okay. But it could still be him.
Next time, use the Visa check card instead of checks. It'll get you in, out, and on with life.
So, are you guys related?
Dude, those rocks look a little loose.
Are you okay, Jim?
No, Jason, hurry up.
Hang on, man. I'm coming. Okay, give me your hand.
You're okay. Dude, do me a favor, don't tell anybody about this.
Okay. Oh, Mom! Oh, help!
I wasn't crying.
Life is best told over a great-tasting Miller Lite at a place called Miller Time.
The allure of the Cotton Bowl is its legacy. Sims and the Longhorns battle Davis and the Tigers in the SBC Cotton Bowl New Year's Day on Fox. Mel Gibson in the network premiere of Ransom.
Give me back my son!
Fox Monday.
Steve Beuerlein maybe solidifying the starting position for next season and maybe running Brian Griese out of town.
Yeah, there is going to be some big decisions to be made here by Mike Shanahan in the offseason. It would happen with Brian Griese. And you still have a big salary cap number, but whether or not he's back or not, I think, still hasn't been decided.
First down for Arizona. Ball batted around, falls incomplete, and all three Bronco linebackers had a chance to pick that one off.
And Kurt Berline started today because he came in last week for Griese and gave him a great opportunity to win. Brought him back 16 points, had an opportunity there, had an opportunity there, and then another one to Rod Smith to punch it into the end zone, and these guys just did not come up with the catches.
On the fourth quarter, you got McCaffrey, right. Sharp, and Smith.
All four, oh yeah.
Which guys, I mean, you can't pick three guys you'd rather go to.
That's right, all in the fourth quarter.
Plummer tipped at the line of scrimmage, still completes it out for a 13-yard pickup to Jason McCadley.
And remember, I mean, if they make those plays and somehow win that game out in Oakland, it's got huge ramifications. First of all, they're in the playoffs.
Right.
That's it. And secondly now, I mean,
they had a shot at going on to win the AFC West.
Going on to win the AFC West. They didn't win. Now everything is going through Oakland. I mean, it had playing a huge factor on the whole AFC.
And the Broncos are going home, not making the playoffs.
And not happy about it.
From the 43. Marcel Shipp, 3-yard gain. Back out to Los Angeles and JB for another game break.
Kurt and Tim, Cleveland is happy, though, about the outcome right now. Take a look at the Jets capitalizing on a Brett Favre pick as Chad Pennington hooks up with Wayne Corbett. It is now 35-10, and the Jets are looking like the AFC East titleists. Back to Kurt and Tim.
Who would have thunk it?
Who would have thunk it? Miami going to go in and everybody thought Miami was going to be the AFC East champions.
Well, remember, they had a 3-game lead in that division over everyone about 6 weeks into the season.
Can you imagine the year Ricky Williams has had and not be able to make it into the playoffs?
Plummer going big for McCadley, overthrows him incomplete. Well, seriously, they had a 3-game lead, and then they lost Jay Fiedler.
Yep.
And that's when things started to go south on them. They brought in the backup quarterback, Ray Lucas, and he had a couple of rough starts. They lost a couple of games, and the division started to catch up with him.
Yep.
But then they seemed to right at their ship. But down the stretch, they wound up losing Minnesota last week and now to New England today.
I've always been a big believer, and I played for Dave Wannstedt in Chicago, and I don't agree wholeheartedly with how they train in the month of December towards the end of the season. I think a lot of times in Chicago we were tired, and I think some of these Miami teams, Kurt, are historically tired at the end of the year in December.
Incomplete pass on third down from Plummer to Casper.
And I think that shows. I think the difference between winning and losing in this league is just such a small fraction that the team with the fresher legs and a little more spring in their step are going to have a better chance of winning football games, especially when you look at the parity in this league now. It's the little things.
And it tends to come down to which team wins in December.
Yep.
Player on the punt again. His last one partially blocked. Delta O'Neal calls for the fair catch. Makes it at the 11-yard line. 42 yards on the punt by Player.
Life is full of difficult choices, and some not so difficult. When you purchase an elegantly redesigned mid-size 2003 Saturn L Series, you can choose $2,500 toward your down payment. Or get 0% financing, 0 down payment, and 0 payments for 90 days. Unfortunately, this not-so-difficult choice ends January 2nd. Purchase a 2003 Saturn L Series and get $2,500 toward down payment, or 0% APR, 0 down payment, and 0 monthly payment for 90 days. See participating retailer for restrictions.
There's a light in your soul that says you're one of a kind. Don't ever let it go. Be original, an individual, like Dr. Pepper. Be you, do what you do. Dr. Pepper. Be you, do what you do. There's nothing better. Be you, do what you
You own the ultimate DVD player. Now own the ultimate DVD. Star Wars Episode 2, the first truly all-digital DVD to give you perfect sound and picture quality. Own it today. We took an ordinary construction worker and told 20 women he was worth $50 million.
This is a dream come true.
We lied. Joe Millionaire, the ultimate test of love versus money. A new reality series premiering Monday, January 6th on Fox.
Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson die hard with a vengeance tonight on Fox.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Saturn, makers of the View, redesigned L Series, and the all-new Ion.
Well, the Bronco rookie running back Clinton Portis, another big day. 180 yards so far on 17 carries.
Yeah, he's been the best player in this football game today, no questions about it. It's been up the middle, it's been outside. He's just made football and just great plays and great runs all over the place. And you see here, 28 yards that he needs, Kurt, to break the rookie rushing record set by Mike Anderson.
His previous career high was 159 against San Diego about a month ago. This time he falls forward, gets back to the line of scrimmage. Marcus Bell on the tackle.
Is he rookie of the year, Kurt, offensively, or does that go to that kid out in New York, Jeremy Shockey?
Well, I'll tell you what. You look at Portis, did not even start the first 4 games and has a chance at the rookie record for the Broncos. But I will vote, if you ask me, for Jeremy Shockey, only because the Giants won 10 games. He's made an entire difference to their offense. The Giants are not in the playoffs without him. Even with Portis, the Broncos are not in the playoffs.
And how about that performance he had yesterday against the Philadelphia Eagles? Unbelievable.
Berline. That ball came out. Now there was a penalty flag thrown on the play. They called it a fumble so far, and Arizona has recovered, but we'll see what the flag's for. Ronald McKinnon getting up with the football.
Take home a little souvenir there.
Defense, offside, number 57. That's a 5-yard penalty. Repeat, second down.
So McKinnon, who recovered it, called for the offside.
And I think it could be a couple of guys. I think it could be McKinnon here, and it could be Wakefield down here at the left end. I think more Wakefield than McKinnon. I think he screwed up there. I think 97 there, Fred Wakefield. Guy that gets the hit on Berline is the one that got into the neutral zone.
Berline using the hard count without the false start.
Yeah,
that's key.
He's so good at that. And we've seen that all day long, him being able to draw those guys off sides.
Makes it 2nd and 5. Portis. There he goes. Now Clinton Portis just keeps the train rolling one way or another. 11 more on the run.
And that's his acceleration. And Mike Shanahan talks about this guy's speed, being the big play guy. Watch him turn sideways to the line of scrimmage. More times than not, you're dead in that situation. But he's able to beat Woods to the edge and then pick up a bunch of extra yards because of that speed. Usually, Kurt, when you start running sideways in this league, the speed on defense catches up to you. They're having a hard time catching up to Clinton Portis.
17 yards away from the Bronco rookie record. He's alone in the backfield. Gets the handoff. Bounces off a couple of guys and fights his way out near another first down. A gain of 9 on the run by Portis. And now he's 8 yards shy.
It's amazing how he's always moving forward. Watch his body lean and watch his shoulder pads. Look how I'm leaning forward all the time. All the time. Keeps his legs going, leaning forward, leaning forward. Rarely gets pushed backwards. Terrific block right there by Dan Neal. Wow.
Portis, 20 carries, 200 yards rushing. Once again, a new career high for him as play is being halted right now while Ray Thompson limps off the field for Arizona.
And I got to give a lot of credit to Shanahan for what he's done, Kurt, with this team. I mean, they came out here today, and they've underachieved this year. There's no doubt about it. But they came out here today knowing they weren't going to get into the playoffs. In fact, they found out about 5 minutes before they broke the field to come out here. And knowing that they're not going to go out of the playoffs, but still coming out and giving the effort and playing the way they played today, I think a lot of credit has to go to that head coach, Mike Shanahan.
Greg Jones came in for the injured Thompson.
Look at that, 8 yards for the record.
Well, he's going to be close to picking it up on that run. as he spotted down at the 44-yard line. Kyle Vanden Bosch with the stop, and Portis picked up exactly 8 yards on the run. So right now, Clinton Portis is your brand new rookie rushing record holder. And he's going out to an ovation after beating Anderson by a single yard so far. 1,488 on the season.
So he comes out, and who do they put in at tailback? Mike Anderson.
The guy who used to own the record.
There.
Play fake. Burline going up. McCaffrey slows down, makes the catch inside the 10, down to the 5. 51 yards on the pass.
Kurt, you see what having a great running game does for you. It just opens things up in the play action. McCaffrey out here. Another little double move again. We saw it early. He just blows up Starks with that one. Wide open. Has to wait a little bit on the football, but nevertheless, a big, big play for that Bronco offense. McCaffrey is the best in this league, Kurt, at those double moves. And McGinnis even told us that coming in. He said, we know we're going to get a lot of moves from McCaffrey. We have to have a way to shut that down. They haven't been able to do it today.
And the Broncos use their first time out here in the fourth quarter. McCaffrey now over the 100-yard receiving mark in what could be his final game in Denver Blue.
Purchase 20 tons of steel for the factory in Milan.
Piece of cake. Next.
Buy 300 hydraulic assemblies for the Washington factory by Friday.
Done.
Ooh, best price on titanium discs in Singapore.
Oh, look at this. 4 partners ready to bid. As you bore me.
You guys got any light bulbs?
How many pallets?
Domestic or international?
No, just one.
I can't do one.
He can't do one.
.NET Connected Software helps you connect with partners. That's software for the agile business. From Microsoft.
Something incredible is happening to guys everywhere. They're defying gravity. Introducing Mach 3 Turbo. Total comfort whether you shave down or up. An anti-friction coating on all 3 blades. Plus a strip with more lubrication. So even against the grain, you get less irritation and the closest shave. Can your razor do this?
Unbelievable.
Mach 3 Turbo. From Gillette, the best a man can get.
Don't act like a swan. Be a swan.
I don't think I'm swan material. Sorry, kind of new at this.
That's okay. It's good to try new things.
That's what I tell people about 10-10-220.
I use that. All my calls up to 20 minutes are 99 cents.
I haven't signed up for that.
You don't have to. Just dial 10-10-220, then 1 and the number.
That's easy.
It sure is. I knew you could do it. Help. I think I'm stuck.
Dial 10-10-220.
Oh.
The talent is hotter.
What's going on? What's going on?
The stakes are higher.
I didn't think it was that bad.
And the excitement is bigger than ever.
See you in Hollywood.
I can't believe it!
The next American Idol. Be there from the first note to the final vote. Tuesday, January 21st on Fox.
There's a new king of the hill, and he's wearing number 26. Clinton Portis, the all-time rookie rushing leader for the Denver Broncos, breaking Mike Anderson's record. And there's still 7:39 left to play here in the fourth quarter. First and goal from the 4-yard line. Portis adding to the record with a touchdown. And the touchdown, his 16th rushing touchdown of the season, which also breaks Anderson's rookie record.
Kurt, I'd say he's been the best rookie ever here in Denver. And that is just a huge hole created by that offensive line. And watch Mike Anderson. This is the guy whose record he's just broke and whose touchdown record he's going to break. Look at the kick-out block on Kwame Lassiter. Just blows Kwame out of there. Free alleyway. Touchdown, Clinton Portis.
Jason Elam on for the extra point. And the Broncos reach the 30-point mark, leading at 30-7 over Arizona on Clinton Portis Day. 212 yards rushing and a touchdown.
Buddy Holly sang to Peggy Sue and his legend grew just like Dr. Pepper. Let's raise a Dr. Pepper, salutes individuality and gives life a personality. Nothing's better.
Hey, Spider-Man fans, you could win a Sony home theater, Spider-Man DVD, or thousands of other prizes, only on specially marked packages of Dr. Pepper.
The dentists at Oral-B are on a mission to protect your teeth and gums. Their ultimate weapon? The Oral-B 3D XL. The only toothbrush to combine a high-tech head like professionals use with a pulsating 3D motion. It cleans below the gum line, preventing and even reversing gum disease. Mission accomplished. Is it any wonder more dentists prefer brushing with the Oral-B 3D XL? Brush like a dentist.
Today, HP technology is producing prodigies of speed and discovering new directions in film. It's investigating new worlds out there and in us. And it's making the global economy more global. For the world's great companies, thinkers, and doers, HP makes more things more possible.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 37. By HP. HP Technology, Services, and People help make more things more possible. By Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Be you. Nothing's better. Dr. Pepper. And by National Security, starring Martin Lawrence, in theaters January 17th. Rated PG-13.
Well, Mike Anderson providing the block as he watches his records go down, courtesy of Clinton Portis, who is having a phenomenal day to end a phenomenal season. There you see, setting the rookie rushing record and touchdown record for the Broncos. And
what's amazing, Kurt, as you talked about earlier, is the first 2 games, he only had about 10 carries in both games.
Didn't start the first 4 weeks, and I think there's a guy who solidified his position for next year.
Yeah, I don't think there's any question about that.
Micah Noor with the kickoff. Off the face mask of Kevin Casper, he picks it up. Out to the 20. Well, if you're Clinton Portis, not only is it a good day for you scoring, but a good day for your fans as well.
Yeah, and it's a record-scoring touchdown by Portis. Watch the block right there by Anderson. And then the alleyway, terrific block by Salam, and Portis drops right up in there for the record-scoring touchdown.
Well, not only a good day for his fans, a good day for his mom. He calls her out of the stands.
Here you go, Mama. There you go.
There you go.
Tell me how happy she is right now. That's got to be awesome.
Her baby boy. Josh McCown now in at quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals. Completes his first pass out to Freddie Jones for a gain of 8. And now McCown seeing just his second action of the season. Of course, he was their 3rd-round pick out of Sam Houston State. And played in that game against Kansas City, which they lost 49-0 in Week 13. Was 4 of 12 in that one for 45 yards and an interception.
Question is, Kurt, McCown obviously is a guy that's going to be here in the future, but is that the last snap that we've seen Jake Plummer take from the Cardinals?
Well, as we said earlier, Plummer a free agent after this game, and I guess he wants his lips to look good when he goes to the interviews for free agency.
He's getting ready for that trip up to Idaho. He's going to just get away from football for a while, and did okay today. He was under some pressure. Did not have a big running game after the first quarter. And
there's no challenge on the play. Denver is not charged with a timeout.
And no matter what happens, Kurt, with Jake Plummer, whether he's back in Arizona or not next year, he told us that he'd like to let Arizona know that he wants to express his gratitude. He's had a great time there. They gave him a nice contract. He said he's played his heart out. He just wishes that the results would have been better.
And sometimes after 4 years at Arizona State playing in Sun Devil Stadium and 6 years as a pro with the Cardinals, maybe it is better for everybody just to move on.
Maybe a change of scenery. Be good for everybody involved, as you said.
A nice run by Marcel Shipp gets him the first down. Well, a lot of hard-working members of this crew put us on the air each and every week here at Fox. That's Bubba, our video director.
I got to thank these guys. And even being my first year, these guys have helped me out. You've helped me out, Kurt, tremendously. These guys in the truck have been awesome for me this year. Thanks, guys.
You know, I was looking at a piece of paper the other day, and I saw Greg Gamble. I go, who is that? I go, that's Bubba. But nobody calls him Greg.
Who?
McCown with a nice run. Well, look at the rookie showing the nice legs.
Quarterback, Josh
I think our videotape operators have nice legs as well. Let's check them out. Well, that's the back of Alistair's head.
Turn around. There you go. Mr. Beckman.
Jay Beckman's the guy who puts together all those videotape highlights that you see.
Hits a good driver, too, by the way.
And lives in Green Bay, so you know he's a football fan.
Yep.
First down at the 39. McCown brought down for the sack. Ian Gold with the tackle. Trevor Price getting in there as well. Of course, a lot of camera people involved. Wyatt Anderson.
Big Wyatt.
Working there hard in the end zone. Another Wisconsin guy. Why is he wearing gloves? He's from Wisconsin. And there's Vic.
There he is.
Vic Daschle from Florida. He's the one that should have all the gear on. Nice warm weather, but these guys do an absolutely fantastic job, and we could not do what we do without their help. That ball batted in the air at the line of scrimmage. I believe Monsanto Pope was the guy who got a hand on it. Well, the guys who... that's our audio guy. I fooled him. He's like, oh, Kurt's mic's cutting out. Mark Butler, good job on audio all season long. And then up here in the booth with us and gets all the good sound from the field, Bob Charlat. Wave to the folks, Bob. There you go.
Keeping us in control up here in the booth. Getting our food and drinks and all the cookies.
Is that part
and
of
all
his
that
job
stuff
duty?
No, I don't think it is. I think he just overachieves.
Okay. It's always good to have overachievers with you. On third down, McCown. Dropped by Freddie Jones, incomplete. Penalty marker down on the play.
Defense, number 52. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Ian Gold called for the hold. Well, the guy who kind of puts all this together, our technical producer, Marvin Kale.
Happy holidays, guys.
Oh, his big chance, and he blew the line. Oh, Marv.
I love you, Marv. I love you.
Marv, not exactly a camera person, apparently.
Well, Kurt, that's why he's in the truck.
Okay. But he puts his whole technical unit together each and every week.
See, I'd like...
Traveling from city to city with us. McCown under pressure, ball knocked out. Ian Gold kicks it and scoops it up.
Is it Lionel Dalton, Kurt, on the sack?
Dalton got the sack and the strip. Gold picked it up and took it deep into Arizona territory.
That's the first sack of the year for Lionel Dalton. And again, a lot of credit to the coaches of the Denver Broncos for having these guys playing hard today. Dalton right up the middle, pushes back the center, pushes back the guard, gets a sack, forces the fumble, and then Ian Gold able to pick it up. Just blowing right up the middle and reaching over and grabbing a hold of McCown. Lionel Dalton has had a nice football game today, been getting good penetration against that Cardinal offensive line.
Yeah, you mentioned his first sack coming over from Baltimore.
Yeah, he's got a Super Bowl ring with the Ravens.
Well, he was on that 2000 team, rotating with the big guys, Sam Adams, pardon me. There in the middle is Clinton Portis gets the carry, and Portis close to the all-time rushing record against the then Phoenix Cardinals, Arizona Cardinals, and 216 yards by Corey Dillon is the mark. Right now, Portis with 212 before that carry, and he picked up right at 3.5 yards, so he's close to setting that mark as well.
And you saw that graphic there. He has outdone the Arizona Cardinals by himself today in terms of total yards.
On second down, Portis. Inside the 10, inside the 5, into the end zone for another touchdown. Jeremy who? I may have to switch my position. Clinton Portis with a phenomenal day. 12 yards on the run, 228 yards rushing on the day, 2 touchdowns. And oh yeah, he's got 18 yards receiving, by the way, as well.
and has set the records today for the rookie. Of course, rookie rushing yards and rookie touchdowns by a tailback, and it's all second effort. And some terrific cuts there by Clinton Portis to get into the end zone.
And the most yards ever against the Arizona Cardinals on the ground. Jason Elam's extra point makes it a 30-point game with just over 4 minutes left to play here in Denver.
Watch the cuts from Clinton Portis. He'll punch it outside. Whoop, little cut there. Whoop. Couple more cuts there. He's just setting people up, Kurt, the whole way. Watch him just setting guys up and then cut back against the grain. This one especially there is the best cut.
Mama Portis may have to get a bigger bag for the plane back to Miami. Look at the moves.
Oh, yeah. That's just, I mean, that speaks for itself. Clearly, Kurt, those moves speak for themselves. And it's been the best rookie in the league all year long. And look at that. Most ever yards against the Arizona Cardinals on the ground. Is he rookie of the year? That's the big question. I mean, where would this team be without Clinton Portis? And where would New York be without Jeremy Shockey?
Well, the Giants are in the playoffs, thanks in large part to Shockey. And despite Portis' fantastic season, the Broncos are not going to the playoffs, which to me makes the difference between the two rookies.
Maybe they should have started him those first 2 games.
Well,
especially that St. Louis game. I mean, that kind of was a real barometer for how their whole season has gone, how it started in week 1
Is he
against
doing
the Rams.
autographs on the sideline now?
Can you blame him?
Yeah, he's big time. Casper out of the end zone. Oh, what a big hit. Keith Burns.
Kurt, that's why he's their special teams leader in tackles. He's got a nose for the football and just lights up that receiver.
Well, a couple more holiday wishes.
Big D.
David McGavitt, our technical director. He's the guy that punches all the buttons and brings up.
Look at all those buttons. You kidding? Dewey!
The director of all directors, our Dew, Rich Dewey, and our producer, New York's own Raymond B. Smaltz III.
Ray, thanks for all your help this year, man. It's been absolutely terrific.
On a fantastic rookie season for you, my partner.
Thank you. Thank you very much for breaking me in right. Year. Thank you.
McCown to Ship. Marcel Ship with a gain of 7.
So what do you think? You think Steve Berline did enough to get himself a roster spot here in Denver for next year?
No question he's got a roster spot. The question is, will he be the starter? And I talked to Berline before the game. This is his 16th season. He's got 2 years left on his contract with the Broncos. And he told me a week ago before the game, I was going to go home and retire at the end of the season because he thought he would not have a shot. But things have changed here. He will most likely get an opportunity, plans to sit down and talk to the organization. But if they tell him he'll have a shot at the #1 job next season, he plans to come back for his 17th year, as Freddie Jones made that catch.
And he had a terrific second half here today. And talking to Shanahan yesterday, I asked him, I said, how long does Steve Berline, how much longer can he play? And basically Shanahan told us point blank, as long as he wants. I think it's up to Steve Berline. He said the best thing that he does is rally troops. He's a great leader. And Kurt, I think that's probably a big reason why he got the nod today as the starter. Not only did he play terrific.
Late flag thrown out.
In trying to come back against the Raiders last week, he played very well, but I think when you take a look at the big picture and him being a leader and more of a leader than Greasy, I think really weighed into today's decision.
We'll see Kelly Hearn was here on the coverage. Late flag coming out. Here's the call.
Defensive pass interference, number 31. Spot foul, automatic first down.
And the call is on Herndon. Well, we talked about the difference in Steve Berline, especially this second half.
You see the numbers there, 6 of 13, 70 yards in the first half, no touchdowns, actually missed some touchdowns, and then 10 of 11 here in the second half. He came out here, he knew it was crunch time, and he stepped up and really has thrown some nice balls.
The most impressive number, they scored on 7 of their last 8 possessions. Big hit by Sam Brandon to break that one up for Jason McCadley. And a flag down in the backfield. We may have a late hit on the
Personal
quarterback.
foul.
Yeah, it looks like it.
On the defense, number 92, roughing the passer with a blow to the helmet. 15-yard
Bertrand
penalty,
Berry.
first down.
Here's Bertrand here, number 92, coming from the right end. Slips past L.J. Shelton, and it's the head-to-head. Face mask to face mask is the call on Josh McCown. And then the big hit from Sam Brandon to jar that football loose.
So they get 15 yards on the penalty, puts him in Denver territory. Ball at the 45-yard line. McCown. Quick pass and dropped once again by Freddie Jones. Well, all the little numbers and letters and graphics you see on the screen put up by all those hard-working guys there in the truck.
Look at all the fellas. There's Itch, Eddie, there's Darren.
What?
There's Bud over here. Hey, Bud, what's up, buddy? Got all the guys in there. They've been very, very good this year and really handle, Kurt, as you said, a lot of the little things. And I'll tell you, Darren Foster is as busy as anybody all week long.
And one of the best at it. Second down. McCown. Intercepted. Kelly Herndon with the pick. Well, make sure you clean yourself off after the interception, huh?
That's great. Well, you can tell who McCown wants to go to. He's thrown just about every time, Kurt, to McCadley since he's been in the football game. And there's the one-on-one matchup. Herndon actually a little behind, but just plays underneath the whole way, knowing McCadley's going to come back in with the square in, and a bad throw from McCown. Herndon picks it off and then just cleans himself up. Must have a dinner date here in about an hour.
Want to look good. This Bronco team has looked very good here in this second half. You see the 2 turnovers. Last one ended up in a Clinton Portis touchdown. New quarterback for the Broncos, Jarius Jackson, who is your 3rd quarterback. Hands it off to Mike Anderson, and Anderson with a pickup of 3. Well, this is the final game of the regular season for both these teams, but football will continue next week right here on Fox as we bring you an NFC wildcard matchup next Sunday, 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific in San Francisco. That much we do know. The 49ers will be hosting one of the wild card teams.
And believe it or not, and I know the Giants, Atlanta's not as hot as the Giants are right now, but that's a big home field advantage out there in San Francisco. People don't take into consideration how wet, sloppy, and cold it can get out there at Candlestick Park. And San Francisco is so good at home.
2-minute warning here in Denver. Broncos on the verge of going 9-7 on the season with the win. They lead it by 30.
Fox NFL Sunday is brought to you by Budweiser, delivering beer at its best with the crisp, clean, and refreshing taste known only to the king of beers.
Game day kicks off in the dawn's early light. Work behind the scenes to get it right. From the pigskin makers to the hard hat men, the special teams and the big game plan. This is for the people who never play it down, who really make it rock when the game's in town. This spot's for you, and you and you and you. This spot's for you.
Life is full of difficult choices, and some not so difficult. When you purchase an elegantly redesigned mid-size 2003 Saturn L Series, you can choose $2,500 toward your down payment. Or get 0% financing, 0 down payment, and 0 payments for 90 days. Unfortunately, this not-so-difficult choice ends January 2nd. Purchase a 2003 Saturn L Series and get $2,500 toward down payment. Or 0% APR, 0 down payment, and 0 monthly payment for 90 days. See participating retailer for restrictions.
Since I logged on to NFL.com, I found out who holds the single-season sack record. It's Michael Strahan.
I got the weather forecast for my next home game. Yep, cold.
Since I logged on to NFL.com, I could email my brother.
I can communicate better with my teammates. Let me check that one more time. Oh, what do you know? Michael Strahan.
I found Super Bowl highlights.
2 minutes left on Clinton Portis Day here in Denver. Steve Berline gets the subtitle in it as well. Berline coming out and having a fantastic second half to lead the Broncos to a big victory over Arizona as Mike Anderson gets the carry, but really Clinton Portis will be the talk of this one. 24 carries, 228 yards rushing, and 2 touchdowns. Set the new rookie rushing record for the Broncos. Most yards ever on the ground against Arizona. Set the rookie touchdown record for the Broncos and gets them the victory that gets them to 9-7 on the season. Well, this offensive line has been strong. Obviously, running the football 254 yards total as a team for Denver today. They're over the 200-yard mark passing as well as Anderson. Going to be about a yard short of the first down. Greg Jones on the tackle. .246, good number. Not a bad day at all for the rookie. And then you throw in the 2 touchdowns, both late here in the fourth quarter, which put this game away. As the Arizona Cardinals, as they usually do, hung around in this game. It was 16-7 going into the fourth quarter, but right now they find themselves down 37-7. Dave McGinnis's team going to finish up 5-11 on the season. Broncos go for it on fourth down. They get it, so now one more snap, and it's all history.
Kurt, what do you think about Dave McGinnis? You think he deserves to come back?
No
because
question.
I do.
Absolutely no question. And I don't think it's really an issue with the front office of Arizona. Talked to Bob Ferguson, their GM, today. He said he thinks he's done a good job.
Yeah, everything Dave McGinnis has done since he's got here has been to win for the Arizona Cardinals. Just with all the injuries, it just hasn't panned out like he would have liked.
So 37-7, Denver the final. Broncos 9-7, Arizona 5-11. Neither team headed for the playoffs. And it could be the last game ever for Jake Plummer in an Arizona uniform. He is now a free agent, free to negotiate with any team in the league. And you saw him hug Ryan Greasy, the quarterback for Denver. Was it his last game?
Yeah, and who knows? I mean, maybe he ends up here in Denver, because I know there's going to be interest, and I know Mike Shanahan will be one of those guys that'll be looking at Jake Plummer.
So this game is all wrapped up. Neither team is in the playoffs, but the playoff picture is all set in the NFC. We know the teams that are all in, all 6 squads set. The question is, who will be the number 1 seed, number 2 seed, and number 3 seed? The Green Bay Packers needed to win against the Jets in order to get that number 1 seed. Last we saw, they were down big, and that would give Philadelphia the number 1 seed. Tampa Bay could get the number 2 seed with a win in that Sunday night game tonight against the Chicago Bears if everything holds on. Clinton Portis someday will be a part of the AFC playoff picture as you look at this Broncos team that finishes with a winning record, and Portis finishes with a lot of interviews to do afterwards.
Yeah, you would think so. He just had a huge day today. And here's the AFC playoff picture.
Well, right now you see 5 of the 6 spots locked in. If the Jets hold on to win against Green Bay, they win the AFC East, will get the number 4 seed, and the Cleveland Browns will get that 6th and final wild card spot. Back to Denver to wrap things up right after this.
Coming up on this pure pandemonium edition of NFL Prime Time, it all comes down to this. Who's going? Who's going home? Ricky runs wild through New England. Or was it the Patriots' late-game heroics that stole the show? The JETS Jets in search of a playoff berth, while the Pack smells home field. The Cardiac Browns are at it again, this time against Vic and company. Was it enough to live another week? Did the Saints march themselves right out of the playoffs? We have all the answers next on NFL Prime Time.
NFL Primetime, presented by Miller Lite. Primetime is Miller time. And now, here's your host, Chris Berman.
Oh, boy. I mean, if this season wasn't indicative of what was to come in Week 17, just watch the next hour. You'll say, that's why they play the entire season. I'm Chris Berman along with Tom Jackson. Happy New Year, Tom.
Happy New Year, Boom.
It was, my goodness.
We haven't known anything till now. Now we'll know almost everything.
I still feel like Sergeant Schultz, so we know nothing. Shall we start to unravel the final day in the very raveled AFC? Let's start on the shores of Lake Erie, where the Cleveland Browns were hoping to make the playoffs, and they were playing against the Atlanta Falcons. The Falcons and Michael Vick knew that if they won, they would get in. Tim Couch knew that if they won and got some help, the Browns could get in. But Couch eventually fractures his right fibula in the second quarter. The starting QB for Cleveland, who's come on, is now gone. Well, Michael Vick, staring a 10-0 deficit in the face. Quentin McCord has come on to make some nice
Starting
catches.
to make some plays. Somebody in the receiving corps has to do it for Michael Vick.
This has been such a season for Michael Vick. And look at this, Brian Finneran begin again. Touchdown. Cleveland's lead down to 10-7. So now third quarter, 3rd and 9. Vick in business at the 10. Watch this, but nothing more you can do except watch this. Dun, 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 dun. The Magnificent 17 song, you get it. Dead, it's a fumble. However, oh man, Atlanta gets it. They fall on the fumble, they kick a field goal, we're tied at 10. He had the ball for 17 seconds, Tom. Kelly Holcomb. Remember in September they were calling for him and not Couch? Quincy Morgan fumbles. And Sam Rogers, they may have found their running back.
And you look at the move, Sam Rogers spinning out of tackles, leaves 3 Browns right there again, gets to the sideline.
Rumbling, bumbling, stumbling.
A nice little 30-yard return for Sam Rogers.
Used to play defense for Buffalo for Wade Phillips, doing it again in Atlanta. But Holcomb picked off by Keith Draft. I think he and Teddy Bruschi would be really good friends. Draft and Bruschi. Falcons go up 16-10 following the turnover. Then Vick to George Lane, but the play of the game, it's a fumble. And the Browns recover at the Atlanta 10. Oh my goodness. Vick knows we can't do that here. 3rd and 14. Holcomb. Kevin Johnson's made so many big catches for this team. And the Cardiac Browns, 7 minutes to go, are up 17-16. Then, the #1 draft pick. Took him half a year, Tom. But William Green, color of money, 64 yards, touchdown, 24-16, Cleveland. So now Atlanta got in the lead. Now they're down 8. Vick to Quentin McCord. Those two really hooked up. 22 yards. Same drive, 3rd and 8, 2-minute warning. Vick to Algie Crumpler. First down. Trevor Gaylord. It's a singing show. Down to the 4-yard line, 1st and goal. Warwick Dunn, he's down at the 1 line. He doesn't get in, Tom, but they're right there. 2nd down, they throw.
They try to play action pass, back corner of the end zone. Great coverage by Dwayne Rudd on the play.
Incomplete to Crumpler, 3rd and goal. Watch Dwayne Rudd, ba-boom! And Warwick Dunn goes down like he just, ba-boom, ran into a wall.
And right here, just look at the block coming across. Brian Kozlowski actually leaps over the pile to get away from the block.
So here it is, 4th and goal. Oh, what a stop by the one-time Steeler Earl Holmes. And little Warwick Dunn, who's such a mercurial runner outside the hash marks, just inside the tackles, Tom. Maybe it was too much to ask. The Cleveland Browns have beaten the Falcons 24-16. Now understand, this didn't guarantee them a thing at the time because New England and Miami were going back and forth, as we'll show you. But a win by Cleveland makes them 9-7, gives them a chance. Butch Davis proud.
What an unbelievably heroic effort on a goal line stand. I mean, I don't think in a game of this magnitude on any level have I ever been around a goal line stand like that. That 4 cracks from the 1-foot line and can't get in I mean, it's just an unbelievable statement about the will and the courage of the guys that were playing at that point, and very proud of this football team.
Well, but there are other things that had to be resolved. First of all, the Saints need a win to get in, and an Atlanta loss. Joe Horn taunting Carolina's Deion Grant. Nick Goings. He's Goings nowheres. He fumbles. Grady Jackson, Tom's 3rd cousin, recovers. Aaron Brooks. Jake Reed, incomplete. Grant Remember he was taunted by Horn? He made the hit right there. Saints have to settle for a field goal. But, I mean, they're playing the lowly Panthers, Tom. Brooks to Reed, but it's a fumble. And Tom's second cousin, Terry Cousin, comes up with the football. Carolina's defense, despite that 8-game losing streak midseason, has impressed. Hey, Beerman, Michael Lewis. Remember, he had 2 kick returns and punt returns in one game. 61-yard punt return. Jim Haslett, I can call you Jim, is excited. Brooks. But he just didn't look right, Tom. Picked off by Cousin.
Yeah, the throwing motion, again, the velocity on the ball. You watch the ball float right there. That caused the interception to be made.
Under a minute to go in the first half. Rodney Pete to Brad Hoover. He vacuums his way into the end zone. And the Panthers and the Saints, in a game the Saints have to have 7-3. Always around the ball is Sammy Knight. A poor throw by Pete with the score 10-6 Carolina in the fourth quarter. Saints on the turnover. But one-time St. Mark Fields makes an emphatic sack of Aaron Brooks.
Yeah, we'll take another look at it. Mark Fields comes around the corner here. You see that the tackle just misses him inside. He goes unblocked, gets to Brooks, and actually throws him on that right shoulder.
And so the Saints, one final chance. This is their best play. Michael Lewis. Man, is he exciting. 30-yard punt return. But on the next play, Panthers think they make a play, but maybe it's the Saints' day. Joe Horn on the deflection keeps the drive alive. 3 plays later, 41 seconds to go. Brooks scrambling, wobbling, intercepted by Cousin, and the Panthers have done it.
Yeah, you take a look at this from behind Aaron Brooks and see what he sees. The corner breaking on the ball. Cousin cuts right in front of the receiver, and you see the disappointment right there on Jim Haslett.
So let me get this straight. The New Orleans Saints, who have scored more points than any team in the NFC, get only 6, knowing that Atlanta has lost to Cleveland, and therefore, if they beat Carolina, they would get in. The New Orleans Saints pick this as the only time that they don't give up 20 points in a game all year, but they get only 6. What a stunning loss for Jim Haslett.
You know, we have a chance to win the game. We have drop balls. We don't block the right guys on blitz. You know, I know you guys are sitting there waiting to, you know, the whole take the quarterback out and the fans will, but, you know, you got to assess what's going on. You can spread the wealth around. There's a number of drop balls, the interception. They're blocking the wrong people on a blitz that led to a sack. I mean, you can spread it around now. It goes back to basic football.
Well, he has all the reason to be disappointed and disgusted. Look, down the stretch, the Saints lost to Minnesota, Cincinnati, and to Carolina.
Yes.
Shades of last year when they folded up
I think shades of last year, and let's realize it's a very young football team. Yes, they will be disappointed in what happened to them over the course of the last 3 weeks of the season, but I think they saw some growth process. I thought that Aaron Brooks was the key down the stretch. The last month of the season, he just looked like, even though we heard from the Saints he was all right, something was wrong with him, his throwing motion. We saw him tend to his arm on numerous occasions. I think their main problem is they've got to do some work defensively. This is the first game this year that they didn't give up 20 points. And like you said, they only scored 6. So they've got problems. They're a young football team. I think maybe next year for this football team will be the time that they can point maybe to the playoffs.
An attaboy for John Fox. His team won 1 last year. They won 7 this year. Carolina, defensive improvement from here to here. Atlanta, a true wild card, Tom, because they're missing some parts, but they have Michael Vick. But for Cleveland, to get in the playoffs, ultimately, as they'll find out, by a goal line stand. You know why Butch was so pleased?
The defense, I think, is really where Butch Davis wanted to see this team improve. Certainly, Tim Counts probably will not be able to play, so Kelly Holcomb will be at the controls. He needs the contribution of William Green. He put up 178 yards today. If he can run like that, then he's going to make whoever's playing quarterback comfortable, and Cleveland has a chance to win.
Dwayne Rudd, the guy who took his helmet off against Kansas City, costing them a win, made the plays on the goal line. Took all year, but he made the contribution. As we go inside the numbers, boy, William Green really came on for the Cleveland Browns. The #1 pick halfway through the season. What's wrong with him? Well, last 7 games, it's 726 yards. They wanted a workhorse, they got it, and they'll need it as they go in. Moving on. This franchise has been in existence, what, 4 years since they came back as the Browns? First time in the playoffs. Congratulations.
Inside the Numbers, brought to you by Visa. It's everywhere NFL fans want to be.
When we return, Detroit and Minnesota. I tell you what, they entertained. They weren't going anywhere, but they entertained. Drew Bledsoe and the Bills try to get to 500 on the year. And what a marvelous run. 20-year run for Darrell Green. And is it the last runs in a Cowboy uniform for Emmett?
Prime Time, presented by Miller Lite. Life is best told at a place called Miller Time. And in part by Visa. It's everywhere NFL fans want to be.
Marty Morningweg, will he survive after this season? He's a great offensive mind, but Detroit, the wins haven't come. But today, Mike McMahon has played pretty darn well in relief of Joey Harrington. Bill Schrader touchdown. Vikings, Lions tied 14-all. Third quarter, Bada Dante Culpepper. Kelly Campbell, very nice, 27-yard touchdown. Campbell tries to give the ball to his former college coach, Georgia Tech coach, Viking assistant George O'Leary. O'Leary declined. He wouldn't be on a Vikings award for him, etc. Gary Anderson, 43-yard field goal. Blocked with the Vikings up 35-24. Todd Light, good night. Spins. What? Rumbling. Bubbling. He could go all the way. But wait a minute. There's a flag on the... He hugs the Lion. Flag on the play. Marty Morningweg says, wait a minute, I'm going to appeal. Of course, you can't appeal, but he got the ref to think about it.
Block was actually thrown behind the runner. Totally unnecessary.
And so the refs agree, and the touchdown stays 35-30. And then McMahon to Scotty Anderson, 18 seconds to go. It's a 38-36 game. Detroit going for two to try to tie. It's the Lions. They just don't get it. 38-36 the final. Mike Tice. Team finished well for him. Seems when they need a two-point conversion, he gets it. When they need to defend one, they do.
I don't think Coach Morningweg will survive, but Coach Mike Tice deserves kudos for keeping his team together. And you saw him come around at the end of the season. Expect big things from the Vikings maybe next year.
Well, they imploded Synergy Field in the morning in Cincinnati. The Bengals, a team that needed to be imploded this year. John Kitna gets a $1.65 million bonus if he gets 61 snaps, making 80% of the season for him. And he is sacked in Buffalo, loses the ball, the Bengals recover. Drew Bledsoe, though, with the Bills up 6-0 to Peerless Price. Will they be able to afford both him and Eric Moulds? Big decisions in the offseason for Buffalo. Boy, they're both such good players. 28-yard gain, and look at the nimble one. Drew, 7-yard touchdown, 13-0 Buffalo. Late second quarter. Kitna scrambling. Ball loose. Werewolves of London Fletcher. Ow! Picks up the football for the Bills. Drinking a pina colada at Trader Vic. Kitna needs 43 snaps to make his bonus. Meanwhile, Bledsoe, Eric Moulds sheet. Touchdown. 20-0 Buffalo. Kitna. Intercepted by Ahmad Brooks. Remember, it took the Bills like about half the season to get their first pick. Here's a pick right here. Kitna, 6 snaps short. Buffalo gets the win. They win 27-9. Here's a team that won 3 last year, Tom. They won 8 this year for Greg Williams, and Drew Bledsoe had a 4,000-yard season.
You think about Drew Bledsoe, Peerless Price, Eric Moulds, Travis Henry, a defense that's young and coming. Again, another team that I think we expect next year to be a pretty good football team.
And one other thing to say about this game, the Cincinnati Bengals are now on the clock. They have secured the #1 draft pick. They've never lost 14 in their illustrious history, but they did it this year, 2-14. One of the great rivalries has been all Dallas. Dallas has beaten Washington 10 straight times. Dave Campbell, will this be his last game? He'll get a job as a defensive coordinator right away. Darrell Green, 20 years of brilliance in Washington.
In my tour this year, you're my final pitcher. Oh, that's cool. That's perfect. Pick you as my final shot. You never know. Might be mine, too.
Oh, it would just be painful to see Emmett play for anybody other than Dallas, wouldn't it, Tom?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, look, Darrell Green on the punt return. Champ Bailey says, go ahead. He's still fast.
He's still one of the fastest guys in this league at, what, 42 years of age?
20 years a cornerback in the NFL, all of it with class. Bruce Smith with his 195th sack. He's 3 behind Reggie. Forces the fumble. LeVar Arrington touchdown, 14-7 Skins. Final carry of the year for Emmett, loses yards. 18 carries, 13 yards. First time since his rookie season, 1990. He does not have a 1,000-yard season. Darrell Green walks off. What a class individual. What a perennial Pro Bowler. He'll have a job with the Redskins in the front office. And finally, Spurrier. It's been not a good season, but he gets Dan Snyder a game ball for snapping the losing streak against the Cowboys.
And for Dave Campo or whoever's coaching the Dallas Cowboys, certainly Chad Hutchinson showed some signs late in the season that he might be a candidate for that quarterback position.
But on we go to the Dallas Cowboys, and the question, and we've certainly all been asking here because Bill Parcells sits with us every weekend, will Bill Parcells and Jerry Jones, 2 meetings of over 5 hours each, get together again at a Metropolitan New York airport and cement a deal or get an offer that Bill will actually have to think about? But Chris Mortensen, maybe it's not so easy, just these two guys getting together, is it?
No, this is a fun ride right here, Boomer. And again, our sources say that Jerry Jones of the Cowboys is on the brink of firing Dave Campo and offering a job to Bill Parcells. But in a bizarre twist, Malcolm Glazer, the owner of the Buccaneers, and his family are now saying that the Cowboys have to seek permission to talk to Parcells and hire him. They want compensation because they say they have a signed contract from Parcells in their dealings with him last year that he backed out of. Now, Parcells and his agent, Jimmy Sexton, don't deny that there's a signed contract, but it was never formally executed, and league officials tell me at a preliminary review of their office files that no contract was ever submitted, therefore not approved by the commissioner, and the Buccaneers may have no claim here, but there's nothing formal yet. I think you'll see something happen on Monday. So right now, it's a little bit of a bizarre twist with the Bucs, I think, playing some gamesmanship with Parcells here. The league, I think, will clear this up on Monday. I don't think they have a claim, and I do believe you'll see Dave Campo fired on Monday and Parcells get an offer and probably be the coach of the Cowboys between Tuesday and Friday. That's it.
Still to come, Steelers and Ravens in a barn burner. Thank you, Mortimer. And the Titans trying to win where they came from, in Houston. Derek Brooks, Buccaneers, they have a chance to clinch an opening round bye. Can they do it in Sunday Night Football in cold in Chicago? Ravens and Steelers, two teams that growl at each other. 3rd and goal, Ravens opening drive at the 14th. Jeff Blake in trouble, in big trouble. Picked off by Deshae Stadium Townsend. And 22 straight games, Steelers have not surrendered an opening touchdown on a drive. Tommy Maddox picked off by Gary Baxter. He researches his way into the end zone, but roughing the passer called on the Ravens. Pittsburgh maintains the football. They do this with it. Play action, Maddox, Hines, Ward. A lot of catch-ups, a lot of Pro Bowls, 12th touchdown catch of the year, tying a Steeler record, 7-0 Pittsburgh. That is not playing famous Amos Saraway, touchdown, 17-7 Pittsburgh.
Yeah, and watch the seal block here by Alan Faneca, going to pull across the formation. The linebacker, Edgerton Hartwell, going to be the guy getting blocked. Misreads right there because of the fullback going to the right side of the defense. What a great block by Faneca.
Faneca's had a great year, Tom. Maddox to Dan Paperback Kreider. Hey, it's out of his hands and into the hands of James Trapp. 24 picks this year for the Ravens. They have played opportunistic football. Next play, Ravens. Blake. My God, it's in the screen. To Todd Heath, the Pro Bowl tight end, the Storm and Mormon. 21 yards. Blake. That's out of the screen. But into the hands of Heath. Has he come on this year? What, Tom? 7 for a buck 46, 24-20 Baltimore. They lead 31-20. Tommy Maddox, very nimble here.
Aside of Maddox's game, we didn't know he had scrambles right there for 21 yards.
Then Maddox to Saraway. Runs into his own guy. Touchdown. Steelers go for 2, don't make it, 31-26. Kickoff. And this is better than an onside kick because Chester Taylor. Bobo! Steelers have it. So Pittsburgh in business, 3rd and goal at the 9. Maddox. Rolling. Finding. Antoine Randall, touchdown. They make a 2-point conversion, 34-31. Blake to Randy Hines from Grambling. What a catch by Hines. 33-yard gain. Look at it, Tom.
Well, just look at the throw. Look at the catch. One hand stays in bounds. Outstanding play.
The Ravens going for the win. Blake going for the end zone rather than figuring what the heck, forget the field goal in overtime. But Dwayne Washington saves it. And so the gamble to go to the end zone does not pay off. Pittsburgh secures the number 3 seed, winning 34-31 in a wild game with a lot of turnovers, but certainly a nice 7 days for the Steelers.
Yeah, and if you're Coach Cowher, again, you look at the big picture here as you go into the playoffs. There, where you need somebody to run the football. 104 yards off the 26 carries. Jerome Bettis may not be available. This is the guy who's going to have to do the work.
And you know what a good game? Bad mouth fowler. 2-mile fowler. Shut your mouth. I'm talking about mouth fowler. We haven't been able to do that all darn year. Here we go, Titans and Texans. Steve McNair began his career, of course, as a Houston Oiler. Bud Adams, original owner of the Oilers, 1960, AFL, the Foolish Club. Watching his club come back to Houston for the first time. David Carr incomplete to Jabbar Gaffney. Now watch this. Flag. Javon Kerr says, wait a minute. That doesn't look like one of your flags, Ref. And it came out of the stands. So it's not a flag. Oh, they're tricky in Houston. And Chris Brown, remember why he was an ex-Steeler?
He had all the trouble with the Steelers, obviously having a few problems here.
Tank Williams with the block for Jeff Fisher. Boy, is Tennessee a hot club. Javon Kurtz looking at flags, having his left foot examined. Meanwhile, Keith Bullock stepping up, dragging down Atnaf Harris from
Cal State Northridge.
Then Bullock takes down James Allen. What kind of year is Bullock having?
Great.
Here he combines with Lance Sargent shoulders.
Yeah, just look at him, chase down Cargan. Boy, and has that kid taken a beating and kept on ticking during the course of this year.
And Javon Kurtz doing a lot of looking. It says he's looking at x-rays. He was a spectator, I guess. Meanwhile, he saw Eddie George. Look, Houston played Tennessee close twice. But in the end, Jeff Fisher's club down the stretch, Tom, 10-1. Hello. And the Titans secure the 2nd seed in the AFC. They will be off, and then they will be home. They win it 13-3, and you said it about Carr. Gritty. Steve won 4 games in his first year.
Yeah, and you win 10 out of 11 games. I will remind people they had no Pro Bowlers. They will be motivated in the playoffs.
They'll also be good in the playoffs. When we return, how the AFC East was won. The Patriots and Dolphins in just a wild game. And Brett Favre and the Pack looking for home field. But the Jets looking for the division crown as well. As good as they get in the middle, the Bears trying to keep the Bucs winless and temperatures below 40 degrees. That's at the bottom of the hour.
Welcome back to NFL Primetime, presented by Miller Lite.
And now the wacky AFC East. Miami, if they win the division. If the Patriots win for Tom Brady, they then need help by the Jets losing. But this is the 1 o'clock game. Brady, Ricky Williams, 2 guys who would figure so prominently. Opening series, and the Patriots are in business. Lawyer Malloy. Oh, man. Lawyer Malloy had a touchdown in his hands, but he couldn't hold on. So Miami, they ran this play 3 or 4 times with Jay Fiedler making blocks for Chris Chambers.
Good blocks by Fiedler, all to stop the pursuit on Ricky Williams, who they knew was going to be the key offensive player for the Dolphins today.
Dolphins 2-5 on the road, but they took it to the Patriots. Ricky Williams, 8 yards, 7-0 Miami late first. Move to the second quarter, and we've seen it with Eddie George running, Curtis Martin running. Patriots just having problems stopping a big running back. That's 16. Here's 14 more.
And you watch Ricky Williams, they do a pretty good job of clogging the middle, but they have nobody outside to force the play back in. Ricky Williams sees that consistently today, broke the ball outside there for a touchdown.
And then Williams, draw play, sees the hole, and he's gone. 30 yards down to the Patriot 46-yard line. Then the last minute of the half, Fiedler to James McKnight. And it's 21-7 when Victor Green gambles and loses, Tom.
Yeah, and the gamble is trying to catch the ball rather than knock it down, and you see how close it was right there. It is a game of inches.
So Miami in control. It's 21-10 at the half. They almost put it away with 9 minutes left in the third quarter. Fiedler McKnight, oh, he just missed him. That brings on Olindo Mare. Oh, Mare. Oh, no. Wide right from the 47 yards out. Now third quarter, Murray, it's a 21-13, and Lawyer Malloy on a batted ball. This time holds it. Could go almost all the way. But Chris Chambers strips him. But hold the phone. Ball hit the ground and it was called incomplete correctly.
Yeah, you take another look right there and you can see that the ball clearly hit the ground first.
So we go back to business. 8 minutes to go. 21-13 Dolphins. Brady picked off by Brock Marion. Setting up a Murray field goal, and Miami leads by 11. Jason Taylor says to Brady, remember that. 11-point lead. Brady, 3 minutes to go. David Givens, flag. Close call, but it's on Miami.
Yeah, James Fletcher here at the corner. You see him pushing and leaning. He initiates that contact. New England Patriots going to get that call.
So under 3 minutes to go now, Brady. To Troy Brown and
Band of Renown.
Touchdown, 24-19. You got to go for 2. And Brady to Christian Fourier. He gets both cheeks in. It's good for a 2-point conversion. It's 24-21. Now Miami looking for the onside kick. They have no one minding the store. And what a break for the Patriots. It lands at the 1. Travis Minor is pinned inside his own 5.
And I think this ball hit in the end zone, caused a little bit of hesitation on Minor's part. He did not pick the ball up right away, and they end up being pinned inside the 5-yard line.
And then 2 passes and a scramble. The most curious of all play calling for Dave Wanstead and Norv Turner. And then the Mark Royal shank. So the Dolphins falling apart at the seams, giving way to Adam Vinatieri. Good! 43 yards out. Minute 14 to go. We're tied at 24. Overtime. Patriots win the coin flip. Second play of overtime. The guy who stood tallest, I thought, on offense, Kevin Falk. Returning kicks, catching balls, running the ball. Brady to Falk. Watch this catch. 20 yards down to the Dolphin 25. Adam Vinatieri. He did it in the snow. He did it in the Super Bowl. It's up. It's good. It's good. It's good. The Patriots dig deep. Jason Taylor. Dolphins. Stud. Miami. Seemingly for 56 minutes had this game in their pocket. They went special teams and brain dead. I don't know how they lost it, Tom. Big win, New England. Adam Vinatieri, once again, Johnny on the spot with Andrea Kramer.
Thanks a lot, Chris. Teammates coming up to Adam Vinatieri and saying, Mr. Clutch. No question about that. You've been in even bigger situations than this before, but what goes through your mind? The field goal to tie and the field goal ultimately to win in overtime.
You know, again, it's just a great opportunity to have even the chance to do that. The guys played real hard to get us back in that and march down the field. And at that point, it's just one at a time. You know, you hit that first one and give us an opportunity. And then once we did, you know, it was kind of a situation where we started building confidence throughout the third and fourth quarter. And you know, at that point, I kind of thought we were going to win this thing.
What does it say about this team? You can rebound from an 11-point deficit with just under 5 minutes to go.
Well, there's a lot of heart and there's a lot of drive on this team, and now we're just praying that we have an opportunity to play in the playoffs. You know, once you get into the playoffs, it's a whole new season, and winning a game like this builds a lot of confidence, and hopefully we'll have an opportunity.
Adam, thanks very much for your
My
time.
pleasure.
Chris, back to you.
All right, Andrea, Adam, thank you so much. But now they would all watch Herm Edwards and the New York Football Jets, who, if they beat Green Bay, and boy, are they happy at the Meadowlands that the Patriots won, because that means the Jets, if they could beat the Green Bay Packers, would be champs of the AFC East. If Miami had won, the Jets would be alive only for the wild card. So, Chad Pennington, how good did he play Sunday night against New England? Continuing to Lavernius Coles, he's ruled out of bounds, but they challenge.
And watch the catch by Lavernius Coles with his hands, and he grips it so he has a chance to get both feet in bounds. That is a great catch.
So a reversal on the challenge of the chagrin of Mike Sherman. Second quarter, but it's the same drive. Play fake Chad Pennington, Richie Anderson. Touchdown. J-E-T-S. Leads 7-0. Still in the second quarter. Coles, reverse. Boy, does he have wheels, Tom. 21 yards in a 7-3 Jets lead. Same drive now, third and goal. Pennington to Wayne Raspberry Trebet. Touchdown. 14-3 Jets, under 2 minutes to go in the half. You know what Brett Favre is going to do, Tom. Last minute and a half to Javon Walker, but he drops it. Another 84 wouldn't have dropped it, would he?
No.
So 4th and 10. Favre goes back to Walker. This time the rookie makes the play. Spike it. He does it. 14 seconds left in the half. Favre. To Terry Glenn. How many times have you seen it, Favre? Money at the end of the half. 14-10 game. But Chad Pennington. Opening drive, 3rd quarter. Between 3 defenders, Delivertius Cole 16 yards. Same drive. Pennington. Hit late by Hardy Har Nickerson. 15 yards. Tacked on. 2nd and 2 at the 5. Curtis. My favorite mark. Touchdown. 21-10. Jets. Next possession, Jets. Curtis Martin. Right tackle. 19 yards. 3 plays later. Pennington. Martin. God, is he accurate. 28 yards. 3rd and 2. Swing to Santana Moss. He's got wheels. Touchdown. Jets.
And this is what the Jets are giving their coach, Herm Edwards, in every way, and it is effort. Here's Santana Moss just fighting his way into the end zone through 3 Green Bay Packers.
Brett Favre. Pass. Overthrown. Picked off by Sam Garnes. He's going to return it all the way to the Packer 31. Favre trying to get in there, but his linemen have to bring him down. And the Jets smelling blood. Up 28-10 early 4th. Swing. Corbett. Touchdown. 35-10. J-E-T-S. Jets. Even Vinny got in. You know they were up big. Pennington leading the cheers. Lamont Jordan gets the handoff. 42-17. Tears on a tough guy. Kevin Mawai. Herm Edwards' team was 1-4 heading into the bye week. They made all the changes. Pennington and the youngsters. The Jets win 42-17. The Jets are champs of the AFC East. Sal Palantonio with the coach.
Herm, you came out here not knowing what you guys were going to do. What was the difference today?
Well, I think our guys didn't figure out when they told us our season was over with. We didn't believe anybody. And I think that's what's great about the National Football League. You just play and you just try to win a game. And that was our mindset from the beginning.
What can you say about the performance of your quarterback?
Well, he obviously had an outstanding game, but I thought the whole team did well. I thought the coaches did a great job of coaching and preparing them this week.
What are your thoughts about going into the playoffs? As the division champs.
Long time coming for the city of New York, obviously for Jet fans, and it's something that's well-deserved for this football team.
Thanks a lot, Herm. Good luck.
Thank you. Okay.
Back to you.
All right, Sal, Herm, thank you. So what a weekend at the Meadowlands. The teams with the 2 best records, the Eagles and the Packers, are beaten by the New York teams. First time both Jets and Giants have made the playoffs since 1986. And Chad Pennington, 4 touchdown passes, poised. Boy, they play with confidence, don't they, Tom?
Yeah, and that's the word is confidence. And I think when you think about the playmakers on that field, the Lavernius Cole, Santana Moss, Wayne Corbett, Curtis Martin, this football team is a team to be reckoned with. On the defensive side of the ball, they've got their speed rusher now, John Abraham, so they're able to bring some pressure to bear on the quarterback. This is the team in the AFC right now, other than the Oakland Raiders, playing the best football in the conference.
Numbing loss by the Packers. It knocks them out of what could have been home field at Lambeau, where they're automatic all the way through the playoffs. They'll have to wait and see on the Sunday night. And the Jets win, puts them and Cleveland in, and knocks New England and Miami out. Let's scratch your head on Miami and New England. They didn't make it.
Inexplicable.
They didn't make it. When we return, late game, overtime between the Seahawks and the Chargers. Playoff picture in focus. Broncos presents Technology on ESPN. Sunday night Skycam at Champaign, Illinois. Let's see if we can see some flying champagne bottles with a camera on a wire for the Bucs and the Bears. Good pictures. Oh, they used to be AFC West combatants. Now they're just West Coast teams in other conferences. Junior Seau not playing for San Diego at home against Seattle. San Diego's flickering playoff chances went out the window with earlier results. Matt Hasselbeck, Corin Robinson. Boy, Hasselbeck is in a nice
Hasselbeck with the touch. Hasselbeck proving that he can play quarterback in this league.
Chargers lead is down to 28-21, and now Hasselbeck with 2.5 minutes to go to Bobby Ingram, 16 yards. Hasselbeck on 4th down, scrambles, first down. 5 seconds left for Mike Holmgren. Down 28-21. Hasselbeck keeps it himself. 28 all, we go to overtime. In OT, 3rd and 12, Seattle. Hasselbeck. Look at him run. He threw, Tom, for 449 yards. He also had that run and other runs. And Ryan Lindell has beaten San Diego on field goals on the final play 4 straight times. Seattle has a nice December run for Mike Holmgren, 31-28 in overtime over the Chargers, who had a nice season, but again, a disappointing
Well, you
finish.
say a nice December run for the Seahawks and a disappointing December run for the San Diego Chargers, and that's something that Marty Schottenheimer will be out to cure next year.
Although they lost 9 in a row last year, this year they finished 8-8. Clinton Portis and the Broncos eliminated from the playoffs with the earlier results, but all-time rookie rushing record, he needs 208 yards for the Broncos. It would be helpful if you pick up 59 right in a row. And, boy, you know, with Arizona in town, anything's possible, Tom. 2nd and 1 at the 36. Steve Berline starting. Did a lot of handing off to Portis. And he does it. He gets the record. 1,488 yards for the rookie. What a start to his career. Berline. Think he has time here, Tom? To easy Edmond. Think he's open, Tom?
Yes.
Sheesh. Arizona. Meanwhile, Portis. And you're going to like this. Not only does he score the touchdown, who gets the ball? His mother.
Yeah.
Yeah. 16 TDs for Portis. Rookie record for the Broncos. He finishes it. Wow. 37-7. The Broncos shake and bake the Arizona Cardinals. So Denver finishes 9-7. But in the big picture, disappointing that they, too, do not make the playoffs to begin the year, one of the Super Bowl favorites.
Broncos obviously disappointed, but you see all the pluses that they have there, mainly Clinton Portis, the return of Eddie McCaffrey, a defense that they thought would play better down the stretch, but this will be a team searching for a quarterback next year.
Denver with 450 yards of total offense today. When we return, the Colts got in the playoffs, but with the Jaguars, give them fits, and we give you the playoff seedings and the teams in it. Tom Coughlin, but the only coach the Jacksonville Jaguars have ever known. Will he survive after this year? Another non-playoff year, but then the Colts are going to the playoffs. 2 of the reasons, Peyton Manning and Marvin Harrison. Although Harrison, you don't need to get hurt in a game like this. Left elbow hurt. He would leave, but he would come back. He ended the year smashing the old mark with 143 catches for one season. Nick Harper, huge hit on Pete Mitchell. Jaguars get a field goal on the drive. David Garrard playing for the injured Mark Brunell. James Mungro, stuff. John Henderson hits him after the play. 1 is going on. Personal foul keeps the drive alive.
We've seen a few players over the course of this weekend lose their head because of the intensity of the games.
And so Peyton Manning, same drive at 3rd and 9. Marcus Pollard in the corner, 2 feet in, 20-13, holds. And so, that touchdown coming with 2.5 to go. Last chance Jags. Garrard, the rookie from East Carolina. What do you do?
Knock it down!
The Colts win it 20-13. And the biggest development in this, Edgerrin James at 86 yards, Tom.
And he will be the wild card in the playoffs for the Colts. You watched him today. He looked pretty good running the football. Maybe they're starting to see at the end of the season that burst.
Here are the seeds in the playoffs in the AFC. Oakland and Tennessee 1-2 opening round byes. Cleveland will open up as the 6th seed at Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh won a pair of 3-point games this year. Indy will be at the East champion Jets. Herm Edwards against Tony Dungy, 2 guys who are such dear friends. Oakland playing and Tennessee playing and Pittsburgh and now the Jets. All of a sudden, 4 hot teams, Tom.
Yeah, and I think, though, when you look at the 3 that are playing really great, I look at Oakland, I look at Tennessee, and I look at the Jets right now. Those 3 teams, I think, are going to be the teams to beat. Not to say that, you know, obviously Pittsburgh and Cleveland could not win, Indy can win, but I think when you look at, you want to go into the playoffs playing hot, those are the teams to beat right now.
People forget, Oakland had the home field advantage. Remember a couple years ago and lost to Baltimore? They were close to the tuck rule. I mean, they've been knocking right at the door. Is this the year that they bust the door down and get back to the Super Bowl for the first time in, well, in almost 20 years?
Pittsburgh Steelers in a championship game last year. Amos Zaraway, what will he be able to give them running the football?
Here's what Pittsburgh likes. They're not the #1 seed. That doesn't work for whatever reason. Here's the NFC, okay? If Tampa Bay wins tonight against the Chicago Bears, Philly, with Green Bay's loss, is the #1 seed. If Tampa wins, they get a bye. so important for them. That means games next weekend would be Saturday at Lambeau, Sunday at San Francisco. Giants at Niners would be a matchup. Atlanta at Green Bay. Interesting, those were opening day matchups.
Correct.
The playoffs would begin the same way the season began. But if Tampa Bay loses in the cold to Chicago, Philly, Green Bay get the byes, and pending on San Francisco Monday night, it's Niners, Bucks, 3-4, 4-3, but they both would be at home in the opening weekend. Niners on Sunday with Giants, Atlanta, 5-6. Philly, big picture. They lost this weekend. They went 5-1 without Donovan McNabb, and they're at the vet. They're going to be tough.
Yeah, and we thought that the NFC, I think, home seeding was much more important than it was in the AFC. Philadelphia Eagles, the best team in that conference when they're playing well, and they're going to get to play at home. Atlanta does not want to play the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Those other games, we remember those starting games of the season.
Yes.
Great football games to watch.
Well, we liked them in September. We're really going to like them in January, right? There it is. That's how the playoffs are starting to unfold here as we roll along. When we return, game balls on this Week 17. Final thoughts on some of those who made it, some of those who didn't, and if this playoffs are going to be like the season, buckle your seatbelt.
NFL Primetime, presented by Miller Lite. Life is best told at a place called Miller Time. And in part by Capital One, who asks, what's in your wallet?
Boomer, my game ball, first time ever goes to a kicker, and deservedly so, Adam Vinatieri.
Right.
He's just the best. Snowstorm, good weather, he gets it done.
My game ball, Tommy, goes to a guy growing before it's like a tree growing in a forest. Chad Pennington, 4 touchdown passes for the AFC East champion, New York Football Jets. For the third time ever, we have the 2 Super Bowl teams from the year before, the Patriots and the Rams, not making the playoffs. And that happened a couple other times involving Denver, Tom. But
Happy New Year,
Happy
Boom.
New Year to you. Boy, are you ready for some playoff football? I thought so. For Tom Jackson, I'm Chris Berman. Thanks for watching. Happy New Year.